The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Excellent training, fantastic benefits in retirement, and zero student loan debt. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
The following is a presentation of the Rice Sports Network. From Learfield IMG College. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Rice Owls Insider, powered by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. Now, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider, presented by IBEW Local 716. Hope you missed us. We are back with another balanced episode. Men's basketball coach Scott Pera hops on. The Owls lost both games at Louisiana Tech, but still a lot to look forward to. They have added a game against Our Lady of the Lake coming up Friday afternoon. I'll have that one on CUSA TV and the usual outlets, riceowls.com, the TuneIn app, and the Rice Game Day app. Also on the show today, we have Athletic Director Dr. Joe Karlgaard. A myriad of topics to get to. And Rice women's tennis coach Elizabeth Schmidt joins the show. They just beat 25th ranked Arizona State at George R. Brown Tennis Facility this past weekend. So about the halfway mark there for Coach Schmidt. We'll talk about her team and how big that win was. Other Owls sporting notes around the department. Owls women on the hardwood keep rolling along, don't they? After sweeping Louisiana Tech, they play North Texas in a home to look for that West Division championship. And happy to announce, not exactly earth-breaking news, but I'll be again on the call come Conference USA tournament time coming up in Frisco. So last year, remember exactly where I was getting ready to call the opening game against Marshall, then the world stopped. So hopefully it's a better omen this time around. And of course, the last time they played a full Conference USA tournament, you know who won, the Rice women. But Owls baseball back at Minute Maid Park this weekend. Always fun to be out there. But I'm trying to think. I haven't seen the forecast yet. Maybe that'll be an open roof. Love calling games at Minute Maid with that open roof. Rice volleyball keeps on going along. They've won 8 matches in a row after sweeping UTSA. Friday match went to 5 games. They promptly came back and swept that Saturday one. Don't forget that every show proudly brought to you by IBEW Local 716. International Brotherhood of Local Electrical Workers Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. We kick off the show next with Joe Karlgaard. This is Rice Owls Insider from Learfield IMG College.
Even now, while we're distancing, your body needs to move. At Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, our teams are ready with advanced technology and imaging to deliver custom treatment plans safely. And our minimally invasive procedures can help you heal faster. We have the expertise to keep you moving, because every movement matters. Find the care you need at locations throughout Houston. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Time out. Smart Financial wants you to know that a good banking experience shouldn't feel like you're getting tackled. Since 1934, we have prided ourselves on providing hassle-free services with a game plan that focuses on people, not profits. If you live, work, or go to school at or around Rice University, visit smartcu.org to join our family and become a part of the winning team. Smart Financial, proud sponsor of Rice Athletics, federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider and the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back on Rice Owls Insider. Remember to hit us up with a subscribe. If you're listening, you can subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, you can take us with you on wherever you get your podcast. And right now, joined by Dr. Joe Karlgaard. Joe, busy time of year. How are you holding up?
You know, it's busy, to be sure. It's always busy this time of year, but this is just a little bit different because you throw You throw volleyball and soccer in the mix. We've got the NCAA cross country championships coming up in a couple of weeks. I mean, it's the next 6 weeks will be unlike any in the history of college athletics.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to start on the basketball front because the women just rolling right along. They swept Louisiana Tech, and what do they won? 5 of 6 since they've resumed play. And I think since we last talked, they were just in the throes of coming back from that. So your thoughts on Coach Langley just picking up where they left off?
Yeah, we're probably a little bit thinner than we've been in the past, and I've alluded to this before. We've got a functioning roster of 10. Not all of those 10 can play a full 40 minutes a game. So you're really, sort of under some restrictions with minor injuries and, and other limitations that we have. And I'm really impressed with how Tina and the staff have managed the year. Managed it, I think, with an eye toward getting to the conference tournament, healthy, and playing the best basketball of the year, and it really seems like that's where we're headed. We've got obviously have contests to go this week before we get to the tournament next week, but I'm optimistic that we'll get to Frisco ready to go and ready to make a run towards the NCAAs. And in the conference tournament, they've expanded it, and we were going to get it anyway, but it looks like it's locked in. We'll play Southern Miss that Tuesday night and just had the game added for that Friday. But your thoughts on the men as they've just now started getting affected by contact tracing and hopefully can get the guys back in time for a run in the conference tournament? Yeah, we haven't played with a full lineup since the Old Dominion series. And, we're a little shy right now. Hopefully we'll be as close to 100% as possible for the conference tournament. And the conversation among the ADs when we decided to go from 12 to 14 really had to do as much with Southern Miss, FAU, as anybody else, in that, in a normal year, we don't play in divisions. We take 1 through 12. Southern Miss, I think, had some good arguments that they were in that top 12. FAU had 3 series canceled on them through no fault of their own. So it just seemed to make sense for us to take the other 2 and at least offer an invitation and an opportunity for all 14 teams to come to the tournament. So it's going to put us in a play-in game on Tuesday against Southern Miss. We're excited just to get there and hopefully to be hitting our stride because, I think most weeks this season we've proven that we can play with anybody in the conference. And, if we show up and are playing our best basketball, we can be dangerous. So on the track front, I'm really interested to hear your take on all this because we had Grace Forbes on the podcast last week. And for the second time, I told her, get ready. You're going to be on this a lot more. She's just a sophomore, but named the National Cross Country Athlete of the Week after dominating the Conference USA indoors. And you've got that unique perspective because you've been at that highest level, the NCAA. So just not only being just from the Rice student athlete standpoint, but just from her as a runner, what was your response? And she is just a pleasure to watch and talk to. Yeah, I mean, and I've had many conversations with Coach Bevan about Grace and her development. And I think, his position on this and everything he's told me would indicate he's spot on with this is that she's got many, many good years ahead of her. It's a cumulative effect developing as a distance runner, as it is in most sports. And, you really develop that aerobic capacity and, kind of push those capillaries deeper into your body and training, stacking year after year after year of aerobic training on top of each other just yields greater and greater results. So as good a year as she is having this year, as long as she can stay healthy, I think she's got even more in front of her. It's really exciting. I mean, she's capable of being at the very top nationally and, at some point down the road in her career of competing among the very best in the United States and the world as a distance runner. And so it's exciting. It's really exciting to see her journey unfold here on campus. Yeah, just seeing what she did in the mile too. That was pretty impressive.
She's able to do that. Just, I'll run that. But women's tennis gets the top 25 win against Arizona State. Elizabeth Schmidt on today's episode of Rice Owls Insider. And another one that she has set that bar to that excellence, and they keep achieving that. And she said they've still got lofty goals for the rest of this year. What are your thoughts on how they're doing?
Being at that match on Sunday, it was just so impressive. 1, 2, 3 doubles, and then the entire singles lineup. Nobody gave an inch, and we split some sets, in the singles, and and you didn't see people who dropped a set come out and say, well, it's going to be somebody else's job to finish off the match today. I mean, top to bottom, it was one of the grittier performances that I've seen from a Rice team. And just really, really impressive. This has been a team that, when I think back to the NCAA regional at Texas a couple years ago, we dropped a heartbreaker to Texas A&M, and you just started thinking, wow, we've got pretty much the core of that lineup, everybody coming back. And then last year, of course, the season was interrupted. Mm-hmm. So now, we're seeing what I thought we'd see last year. We're starting to see that this year, and they are impressive. The consistency with which they compete year in, year out is really a testament to the job that Coach Schmidt does. And they're just really fun to watch.
And how about soccer? Soccer keeps rolling along. If they could get their games in, they win them. They're 4-0 with a few postponements mixed in there. What do you make, even though it's an early start in this spring soccer season like we talked about is unusual, but Brian Lee keeps doing a great job with the women.
He is. I never would have guessed that our keeper, Bella, would have 2 goals at this point in the season, but she does. I've never seen that before. They're just a team that I think really enjoys each other. They enjoy being around each other, playing together. They embrace everything about COVID and the pandemic and all the things that we ask them to do, and they go out and just play loose and fast, and they're fun to watch too. The schedule was really sort of thrown in disarray from fall to spring, and we're playing a modified, more regionally based schedule this year. So I'm not quite sure what to make of the year. But I'll take an unbeaten season at this point, and know that we host the conference tournament here in April, and we're hoping that we can get a top seed, because if we can, it's just another sport where we could be positioned to win a conference championship.
Got baseball going as well, and with the fans being allowed at outdoor sports, I think since the last time we have talked, that was made by the emergency management folks. So. Just it feels as wild as a time as it is, it's starting to feel more like the regular hectic spring that it is, that we finally have some fans in the stands. And I know at tennis this past weekend too. So it has to be some semblance of normalcy now.
Yeah, it's great. I get the sense that people have just been dying for something to do. And so when our venues are open to them, the crowd at tennis this weekend was great. I've spoken to people at baseball. Now, we didn't have running water at baseball because of the winter storm. But we should have that restored here pretty quickly. We had some issues at the park with pipes bursting and whatnot, but we're working through that right now. But yeah, I mean, people are, they want to get back to normal. And if we can afford them an opportunity to get back to something close to that by coming out and watching the Rice Owls, we're happy to do that. And, baseball is so much fun here on campus because, typically you get great weather this time of year. And, to be able to be outside with that backdrop, with a good team, it's everything that Rice fans have come to expect. So we're excited to have our fans back in the park.
Yeah, and finally, I should have thought to ask this sooner, but outside of the damage with at Reckling, I know with no water, any other physical damage or everybody's families okay after the snowvid kind of apocalypse we had there, the ice and snow?
Yeah, I haven't talked to a single person who didn't at least lose power temporarily. various coaches and student athletes were without power and running water. A few still are without water, and that's, has more to do with damages to their homes. I think most of us are pretty fortunate, those of us who are affiliated with Rice and associated with campus, that, we didn't suffer nearly as bad as some other people did in the state of Texas. And so my heart goes out to them because, this is, these times when you're in a pandemic and, something happens on top of that pandemic, you think that in normal times you can solve problems in isolation, but you put COVID on top of everything and it just gets tougher and tougher. And so, for a lot of folks, it's just been really hard, but we made it through. Our Rice family made it through pretty fortunately through that storm.
Hey, thanks for the time. Sure, we'll be seeing you here soon. As always, enjoy the chats. Yeah,
excited for it. Excited for next week in Frisco to see what we can do.
Hopefully be there a while. That is Athletic Director Dr. Joe Karlgaard. Stay tuned to Rice Owls Insider. We'll talk to men's basketball coach Scott Pera right after this from Learfield IMG College.
The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
What do you do when you need safe, reliable corporate transportation? You go Win. Win Transportation is one of the largest group transportation providers in Texas, a leader in charters, shuttles, and special events of all sizes. 5 people or 5,000. Win offers customizable team transportation with a wide range of motor coaches, minibuses, and vans. So, for safe, reliable corporate transportation, do like the Owls and go Win. Book at gowin.com. GOWYNNE.com.
You're listening to Rice Owls Insider. Let's rejoin JP Heath.
Welcome back on Rice Owls Insider. Head coach Scott Pera coming up in seconds. Wanted to remind you that Smart Financial's game plan is simple. People before profits, whether it's saving for retirement, finding your favorite car, or buying your dream home, we can help. Text Rice to 276-278 to find out how. Head basketball coach of our Rice Owls, Scott Pera. Coach, all things considered, how are you doing?
JP, doing fine. How are you?
Can't complain too much. Wanted to start off with that Saturday game against Louisiana Tech. How you told me before the game, you stressed the start. And the guys, lo and behold, I know after showing them the replay of a lot of the start of that Friday game, they really, really bounced back. And La Tech pulled away in the second half. But what did you like about how that really stuck to them? And that was a close game for a lot of that ball game before they pulled away.
Yeah, I was really proud of their response. And I think we had a 19-13 lead. And, I thought things, for us didn't really get, the pull away or whatever you mentioned in the second half. It was the end of the first half that really hurt us because we were playing even or even leading. And in those last 3 minutes of the first half, we just uncharacteristically, kind of got really sped up and made some bad decisions and some turnovers and made it a 13-point game that if it's not 13 and Quincy does that to start the second half, we're winning again, And so that's where I felt it got away from us, but really proud of our guys to bounce back at the beginning of the second half and cut it to 5. And then later on to cut it to 55-51, to cut it to 4. And make it a game. So, but then you said it, at the end they pulled away.
In that Friday game, the huge positive coming out of that was the effort of Cam Sheffield. And I know I keep liking to ask you the same question and challenge myself to ask it in different ways. But in that game specifically, he really brought the lunch pail, career high 17. It's not just the points he's scoring, but it's the attitude, the focus, and he's improving even, it seems, half by half at times.
Well, I told the guys, one of the things we said in the huddle was play the game, not the score. And Cam played the game. He played like it was, a championship game in the last 3 minutes. He played like that the whole time. And I was really proud of him. And I told the team that after the game in the locker room that Cameron, really, really, did everything I wanted all of us to do, no matter what the situations are. And that is play as hard as you can. And so that's something that he can really take moving forward. To do that at La Tech against them, he should feel he can contribute against whoever it is, and obviously we hope we have a few more left. So,
And how great is it to get Chris Mullins back at just the right time? Again, this Our Lady of the Lake game that we'll talk about in a little bit is going to be another good tune-up to get Chris, because I'm sure those 2 games weren't enough just to get him back in the speed. But you saw in moments in that La Tech series how, wow, your best defender makes a difference having him on the court, doesn't it?
Yeah, and look, it's like I told Chris, you can't, be down on yourself because you missed some shots. I mean, I expected you to be rusty. So there's no way you couldn't be rusty. Mm-hmm. I mean, just look at Baylor, for example, and how much they've struggled coming back from their long pause. Well, Chris had a long pause, not just 10 days or whatever. He missed 7 games. And so, we're happy to get him back for practice this week, to play those 2 games and to play Friday, to continue to get back to where he was before this all happened. And I'm confident he will.
How are Max and Malijal doing? Because I know they had different ailments there in that Friday game, but are they recovering okay?
Yeah, I mean, Max is going to have to play with this till the end of the year. He's going to have to wear that mask. Obviously, you can see it didn't deter him too much Saturday. I thought he was a warrior Saturday afternoon, against La Tech. And Malijal's knee is, we're getting evaluated. We're probably going to get an MRI today. And hope for the best, JP, and hope that he's able to come back, if not against Our Lady Friday, but hopefully Tuesday. But I don't know as of the show.
Mm-hmm. And adding that game against the Saints, a team you're no stranger to, having played them early in the season over in San Antonio. But what are some of those things you want to work on against them? I remember you telling me at the time you played them that, I guess I didn't do that game, but I remember they had the up-tempo style that you liked going into that game last time.
Well, look, and I appreciate them, doing this, and I know they're actually playing La Tech Wednesday as well before they play us. So La Tech had the same idea to get a game in before the tournament. And we want to get Chris and Peyton, up and close to back to where they were. We want to execute at a high level. We want to work on everything, defensively, continuing to try to improve and be tougher. And, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is to win the game and then hopefully make a step and get our confidence going in the right direction for next Tuesday.
Yeah, and speaking of, we know each other too well, Coach. The conference announced last week that they expanded the tournament. Of course, you guys would have been in it anyway, but it looks like right now you'll play Southern Miss. How much attention do you pay to that? Because I know that is the real important thing on the horizon.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we're going to really work on getting ourselves better. But, I have 2 of the staff members who've been working on Southern Miss since the minute we knew. And so we'll spend a lot of time on them as well. And, but at the end of the day, it's about us, JP, and about us playing to our potential and playing our best. And that's what I'm focused on. And if we can do that, then we'll have a good chance on Tuesday.
Coach, I got word I will be seeing you in person on Friday. So, Lord willing, I'll see you then.
Great. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Scott Pera, head coach of our Rice Owls. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we will talk to tennis coach Elizabeth Schmidt coming up here on Rice Owls Insider.
Have no post-game plans? You do now. Head down the street to Little Woodrow's in Rice Village and relax over indoor and outdoor games, sports, and drink specials that a college student cannot refuse. All you have to do is bring your student ID to enjoy $2.50 domestic drafts. Also, don't miss out on our Monday college nights as we've got $2 domestic drafts and $3 shots. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on all our upcoming events and specials. Little Woodrow's, the official Rice Owls game day headquarters.
The Wyndham Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the Medical Center, the Museum District, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the Medical Center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the Wyndham Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or need 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back on Rice Owls Insider. I was thinking during the break, when do we actually have Coach Elizabeth Schmidt on? And she reminded me it was before, I guess, as things were shutting down. So about 9 months or so, I guess, during the throes of it. But Coach Elizabeth Schmidt and her team had a big win against Arizona State that we'll talk about here in a second. But Coach, long time no talk, at least. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, JP. Thanks for having me back on, and excited that we're talking about playing tennis and just playing sports across the board. So exciting times here at Rice.
Yeah, a good season so far, and we'll talk about more of that in a second. But just first off, you're about halfway through the season. How have things gone? Asking all the different coaches, just the COVID-19 adjustments, and how have you seen the ladies adjust to those adjustments?
Yeah, I think our team has done an incredible job in a very tough environment. It's a tough environment for everybody, and I think the biggest thing, and probably some of the other coaches have said this, is, being able to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and the unknown. And, we all are planners. We like to know what's coming ahead. And, life doesn't always work out that way. And I think this COVID situation is proven that even more. So we've just really tried to stay focused on what we can control and trying to get better each day. And also, obviously, keeping our bubble tight and keeping our team set healthy and safe. And I think our team, again, has done a great job, and their spirits. They've kept good spirits when it's tough. We all know that. So just proud of them for what they've done in tough circumstances for everybody.
So a little context here with this next question. 5-2 win over Arizona State. That was awesome, but it was also special, I know, because there was a tie behind the scenes, so to speak, with Sheely McInerney, fixture in your sport, having been there, nearly 40 years, and she recruited you out of high school, coached against you, and you were at UCLA. But what does she mean to the game of women's tennis, and how special was that win last week?
Well, first of all, it was a totally special win for a lot of reasons. Just the way our team fought so hard from start to finish on every court. We've really been working on that toughness and that grinding mentality, and it really was on display on every court. Then to do it against Arizona State, a team that's been obviously a staple in our sport, and a coach, Sheila, who is someone that I've looked up to. Now that and she's been a mentor in our coaching field. I played against her as a player. She recruited me. It was kind of funny. I was hitting with Dia before the match, a little extra hitting, and Sheila, made a comment, "You still got it." I was like, "Well, I'm trying to bring my A game to show you, to show off to you. And some things never change. You're always trying to, play for the coaches that were recruiting you." So, but she's a tremendous coach and an amazing person. And obviously she's been at, we were talking to her before the match at Arizona State, 37 years. She played at USC, and she's really set the bar high, and really been a great leader in our sport for so many of us, especially, women coaches when, there weren't a lot of women coaches when she first started. So. Mm-hmm.
And you've obviously got more great talent. The freshman from Italy, Federica Trevisan, was named the Conference USA Women's Tennis Athlete of the Week, as was, I know recently, it might have been the same week, but the sophomore Maria Budin. But discuss them and just the talent you have on this year's roster, because obviously a lot more tennis still here to go.
Yeah, I think obviously, we're sitting 6-2 right now, and every match, I feel like we've improved every match we've played. And I look back to, when we played Baylor, we lost at Baylor. We kind of really learned a lot in that match, and I think our team has really, progressed a lot since then. And it's just basically, there's a lot of talent on our team, but there's also a lot of heart, there's a lot of fight, and there's a lot of willingness to try and get better each day. And they really fight hard for each other and for Rice. And I think, in sport, and especially in college sports, that's huge. Just really proud of the way our team has progressed, and we're going to continue to progress. There's things that we're going to continue to work on from Arizona State that we can continue to get better at. And that's what's really, great about this team is that, we just finished practice, are ready to get back out there and continue to get better each day. So we're right back out there trying to build on what we did on Sunday. So.
Yeah, I was just thinking, my next question was going to be, and you hit it right as I was thinking of it for me, because I'm not the tennis expert, as you know, but you've set that huge expectation, and it's not surprising that you get the win against Arizona State, but still y'all have that bar, don't you? You've set, and your players year in, year out continue to perform. So how does that feel, and how do you keep that going?
Yeah, I think, again, part of it is just that keeping that focus on, improving each day. And obviously we've been fortunate to, come up, to win some championships, and our team's put in a lot of hard work. And, we been a top 25 team, compete with top 25 teams, but we're always striving to be better, right? In everything that we do. So, and our team really, and I think, that's one of the great things about the Rice student athlete is I think they're really driven and motivated in everything that they do, and always, looking to be better. And, I think our team is doing a good job with that. And we've got a lot of tennis. We're halfway through our season. We have big goals, and we're, we've got a lot of tennis ahead of us. And so we really just always continue to, focus on the next match. That being said, I did tell them after the Arizona State, not only is it a top 25 win, but just the way they competed, enjoy it. You also, and I think maybe that's something that COVID has maybe taught me a little bit more too, is you also enjoy, you take your victories and you take the time to enjoy them, so because sometimes you can forget to do that when you get wrapped up in a season. So
that's great wisdom. Just life in general, you have to focus, and tennis is no different. So Maria Budin and Dia El-Jardi have moved the number one doubles team, and they've beaten 2 ranked opponents in their last 2 wins. Discuss them as a pair and how, again, you're no stranger to having this success in doubles, especially. So what do they do so well that complements each other?
Yeah, I think what you said, they complement each other really well. They have improved a ton. They played together last year, and but definitely they've improved a lot. They've gotten a lot more disciplined. Their serves and returns, they've kind of tightened that up, which has helped. Doubles and college tennis is quick. 1 set to 6, no ad scoring. You've got to be firing on all cylinders from the beginning. And so they've cleaned up their first couple of shots. And then I think what's something that really, sets them apart from a lot of teams is the energy they bring to the court. So the people who were out here on Sunday saw it. They are there every point. They're fired up. They move with intensity. They're aggressive. But the way they walk in the point, the way they walk off the point, they bring a lot of energy, and that's super important in doubles in college tennis, because it goes so fast, and you got to be on it from point one. And they're doing a really good job of that. So.
Yeah, speaking of, you mentioned the energy, and finally, I know you're able to have fans for the first time this season last weekend. I'm sure you could feel that difference, but how did that feel? And I know that has to be another one of those things, like you said a couple of answers ago, you just don't take for granted. You had to appreciate it, I'd imagine, at that time.
Completely. It was awesome. Our team was still talking about it at practice today, where, that match was Sunday, and they're like, gosh, it was so great to have fans, and the fans were so supportive. They said they likened it to the conference championship here a couple of years against Old Dominion. We won that final here, and that was the energy that was what we had out here. Now, I think maybe, I think not having fans for a while made it even more special. I also think it was just in a time where, nothing's really that normal to all of us. It brought some sense of normalcy back. And, they were starting to get to, the flowers are starting to bloom, and we're getting back to some normalcy. But more than, it was awesome. The energy was really great. We had a good crowd, and, and it was the first time fans came back this weekend. So some people probably didn't even know we were allowing them yet, maybe, but the word got out because we had a good crowd, and they really helped us. Anyone who was out here know there were a lot of ups and downs. It was a roller coaster of a match. And, in moments like that, the fans are huge, and they were huge for us on Sunday, for sure. So.
Yeah, finally, and I know I have a good source for this information, but just to double check with you, I know there will be some combined matches with the men, right? And one team plays on the front 6 courts while the other team plays on the back 6. And Saturday at 11, you got UTSA, and the men have Abilene Christian, if I read that right.
100%. We have a couple of them this season still to go. We had one earlier this season, and we have, I think, 3 more. But yeah, this weekend is one. We call them our double trouble matches. And that was coined, several years ago, and we've kind of stuck with it. And again, that's another great environment. You get to have both Rice teams playing together. We stand together, do the national anthem. And again, it's just something special, and we're really grateful. We have this beautiful facility and this 14 courts to be able to do it, right? And so again, I think it's just great for the game. It brings a whole nother element, having both programs playing at the same time, and it's great for the fans to be able to see the men's tennis team and the women's tennis team together, and just the camaraderie and the spirit. It always is a great environment for those double trouble matches. So we're excited to have, and the first one we didn't have fans, so we're excited to have our fans back for this one. So
and at a world-class venue at that too. But yeah. Hey, Coach, thanks a lot. Hey, great seeing you again. I'm sure we'll be talking again one of these again, but keep up the great work, and good luck rest of the way, okay?
Thanks so much, JP. Appreciate you having me on.
Elizabeth Schmidt, Owls women's tennis coach. Stay tuned. Rice Owls Insider. Wrap up the podcast right after this from Learfield IMG College.
The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
That is a wrap on another edition of Rice Owls Insider. Always appreciate you tuning in for however long that you do. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast outlet of choice and hit up that YouTube subscribe as well. But thanks to our guest, Athletic Director Dr. Joe Karlgaard. Appreciate Rice men's basketball coach Scott Pera as he has joined us weekly during the season. And always great catching up with Rice women's tennis coach Elizabeth Schmidt. As we referenced during our talk, it was weird thinking back and getting into that headspace. When I talked to her last, it was right as the summer was beginning. We had a few months of the pandemic behind us, but just in the off season sort of things. And we didn't know yet what was canceled coming up for the upcoming fall and whatnot, but always great. I cherish the time that we always get to talk to Coach Schmidt. But remember, we have, one reminder I did want to make is next week for the podcast is we're working on those details. We'll try to have as full an episode as we can, but with the logistics of everything, and I think you get it, we're traveling out there a day early ahead of the game, but I'll be with Frisco with the men's and the women's team, but we'll still try to get some coverage out there. But we got the coverage of the men's and women's teams. You can check the Owls' social media accounts for the links to those. The men will be playing Tuesday night. We know against Southern Miss in that 6-7 play-in game. If they win, they'll play Marshall. That'll be late afternoon, do believe, in that 3 seed of the Conference USA East Division if Rice should win that game against Southern Miss. And the Rice women hopefully will be that number 1 seed, Conference USA West Division, and their first game will be coming up on Thursday. But I will be there up in the Metroplex. But Rice men's basketball and Rice women's basketball from the Conference USA tournament. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day or night. God bless you. Go Owls, Rice fight. We'll talk to you next time here on the Rice Owls Insider from Learfield IMG College.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, you've been listening to Rice Owls Insider, powered by IBEW Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the Rice Sports Network.